Alright, so we're back today with Derby, and we had a major battery malfunction the other day, but I got a new charger and I got another set of batteries so that hopefully every battery won't go dead all at the same time. So what we're doing today is we're working on the coming with the collar, and I will tell you there is a little downfall with this dog because this dog has been conditioned with an invisible fence. So as a general rule, if you're going to do an invisible fence, you want to collar condition the dog first, and the reason is they tend to not have a real clear understanding, and we always talk about the nick not being a shock because it's not unexpected or uncontrollable, and more often than not with the invisible fence it is a shock to them because it is completely unexpected and they get confused about how to control it. You know, even though it can be successful, it's confusing to them. They're not clear on it. So you need to be a little more prepared if you're trying to collar condition one that's been conditioned with the invisible fence first. I mean, you can definitely do it, but there's going to be a couple issues that may come up. Some dogs will tend to freeze when they feel the collar because they've, you know, again, the shock factor makes them think that that was the way to avoid the behavior, was just to freeze and then nothing would happen. So we're using the pager on him, and we're always going to do it in conjunction with the command, and that's the problem with the invisible fence. It's seemingly coming out of nowhere. But this we're going to use in conjunction with the command, and then we're going to this dog does not have a real high food drive, so we're just going to do a lot of praising and do all that. So we're just going to do a little calling back and forth, and we do have the leash on. If you've got one that's been, you know, had the invisible fence, it's better to have the leash on in case you need to pull them, because what happens is they start seeing invisible boundaries where there are none. And then we do have Basil out here for a distraction. So, alright, so go ahead and call him to you. So yeah, this dog has a real soft temperament. Which he's going to train up real well. We just have to get past this initial obstacle. So it can be done. You just need to be aware. You should always take a case history on a dog. Usually people will tell you, but if you had one that maybe started freezing, you would ask them, does this dog have an invisible fence at home? Derby! Oh, he's my good boy. He's such a good boy. Look at him. He's such a good boy. He's such a lovable guy. He's such a lovable boy. Oh, he's such a snazzy. He's a snazzy. He's a snazzy boy. He's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. He's a good boy. He's got a big snazzy. Good boy. So you want the praise to be very soothing, and we're going to try to build up his food drive. A lot of times when they've got the real soft temperament like this, they're not going to have the real high food drive, and he worries a little bit because he's, like I said, the invisible fence thing causes him to wonder a little bit more, but he's going to turn out great. So, alright, go ahead and call him back. Okay, so remember the same little rule here. We're only calling the dog when he has its back turned, and you know, with this we definitely want him to see a real clear pattern. You know, that this isn't just coming out of nowhere, it's correlated with a command. But yeah, he's a really sweet dog. So Beth and the kids, do not worry, he's doing great. He loves playing with Chloe, the other golden retriever. Oh, they're the best of friends. Alright, so what he's thinking now is, oh, I'll just go back that way. That's how the game is played. Alright, call him. So I didn't call him. Remember, we were looking for that certain angle of the body away. And we're only calling him when he has his back turned. This is very, very crucial. Alright, that's good. Just ignore him. If he starts to come back this way again, then I'm certainly not going to call him. Alright, yeah, that's good. Fade away a little bit. Alright, call him. So we want him to have a clear understanding. You know, we're not trying to confuse him or something coming out of nowhere. He's got to understand. You know, this has something to do with, this is us communicating with him. This isn't just something coming out of, you know, nowhere. I'm not a real big fan of invisible fences, really, just for this reason. The conditioning tends to be very unsophisticated. Alright, so now he's got his back directly turned to me. Oh, well, now he's turned around, so I'm not going to call him. Alright, go ahead.
Derby! Oh, look how fast he can run! Yes!
So again, when you're conditioning, and George in Athens, I want to hear from you to see how things are going. You know, part of it's just being patient. If he starts to run to me, I'm not going to say anything because we're trying to teach him, you know, to come when he's called, not just, you know, to run at somebody. Basil! Alright, call him.
Derby!
So he kept holding it down. And I mean, if Basil had a name that sounded like Derby, I certainly wouldn't use it, but no name sounds like Basil. I didn't tell you guys, but Basil got attacked by Capo this weekend. Luckily, he's a sturdy little dog. Nothing happened to him. Alright, so he's basically got his back turned, but I really want to have his head looking away also, so... Derby! What a good boy! He's my snazzy boy! He's my snazzy boy! Good boy! Oh, good boy! Derby! Good boy! Good boy! Good boy you are! Good boy! So he started to go back away right there, and he's a little bit afraid of the sound box. I mean, he is a little bit more of the nervous Nelly type. Good boy you are! He's such a good boy! He's my good boy! Yes, he's such a good boy! He's a good boy! Alright, so I'm not going to say anything. Alright, call him. Alright guys, so that's what you're looking for. We'll do it maybe one more time here, and then after this we won't use the sound box on him for a while until we come back, because that kind of scares him a little bit. Alright, that's good. Call Basil down there one time.
Basil! Good boy, good boy!
Basil's our new distraction. Basil! Alright, call him.
Derby!
So I kept holding it down there. If I would have let that up, it took him some time to think, because the thing with this dog is he's got to make a conscious effort to decide what to do. And so I kept holding it down right there, and he did turn and go back. So, alright Beth, you guys don't worry about Derby. He's doing great, and he's eating. Alright, call him back.
Derby!
And he's playing with Chloe, and she's going home this weekend, but I'll have plenty of time to play until then. Alright, you guys. See ya.